Have you ever wondered why some people seem to create more results with less effort? Why two people can work the same hours, but one ends the day feeling drained, while the other seems to glow with momentum? It's not luck, it's energy. Not the mystical kind, but the kind that drives focus, emotion, and creativity. The invisible current behind everything we build. Hi, I'm Nathan. Welcome to the long game. Before we begin, I just want to thank all of you, the loyal listeners, the channel members, and the people who've sent kind messages or thoughtful comments. I read every one of them. Even if I don't always reply, between work and raising a little one, the days can be pretty packed. I truly appreciate you. You're the reason this show keeps growing, quietly, steadily, like compounding energy itself. Today's episode is called The Energy Economy of Wealth. And I want to start with a simple but powerful truth. Your energy is your most valuable currency. Money follows energy, not the other way around. Think of your day as a small economy. Every thought, task, and emotion is a transaction. When you scroll mindlessly or argue over trivial things, you're paying energy out, spending from your most limited account. When you focus deeply on something meaningful, you're investing. You're creating value that can multiply over time. Most people try to solve their problems with time management. But time isn't the bottleneck, energy is. If you wake up tired, resentful, or distracted, no amount of scheduling can save you. But if you wake up clear, calm, and centered, you can do extraordinary things even in a short window. Wealth creation starts with energy creation. Not caffeine, not chaos, but alignment, when your thoughts, actions, and emotions all point in the same direction. That's when the electricity of your life flows cleanly. No leaks, no shorts, no unnecessary friction. It's what great athletes, investors, and artists all share: the ability to channel their energy instead of wasting it. Imagine if your life had an invisible energy meter, a dashboard showing where your power goes each day. You'd probably be surprised how much gets drained by worry, comparison, or guilt. The richest people in the world aren't just good at making money, they're masters of protecting and directing energy. They choose their inputs carefully, like engineers designing an efficient system. Every choice either amplifies or depletes their internal current. When you think in this way, every part of life changes. You stop chasing, you start conserving. You begin to see that real success isn't about doing more, it's about wasting less. Because when energy compounds, money eventually follows. But when energy leaks, even wealth can't save you from burnout. In the next part, we'll explore the biggest invisible energy leaks in modern life and how to close them before they quietly bankrupt your focus and drive. This is Nathan, and you're listening to The Long Game, where we build wealth not just with capital, but with calm, clarity, and consistency.
When we talk about energy leaks, most people think of sleep or food, the physical side. But in truth, the biggest leaks aren't in your body, they're in your mind. You can eat well, exercise daily, and still feel exhausted if your attention is scattered across too many small fires. Energy leaks begin wherever your focus is divided and where your emotions are left unresolved. Let's look at this like an investor would. Every minute of attention is a unit of capital. Every thought you entertain is an investment decision. You can put it towards something that yields returns, like learning, creating, or connecting, or you can pour it into something that just burns capital, like arguing, scrolling, or complaining. Think about how many open tabs you keep in your mental browser, the message you still haven't replied to, the conversation that didn't end well, the tiny regret that replays every time you're quiet. Each one pulls a little current from your energy grid. You don't feel it instantly, but by afternoon, your mind is low battery. And you start wondering why focus is so hard, even though you did nothing tiring. The truth is, energy doesn't just leak through effort. It leaks through unfinishedness. Every unresolved task, emotional debt, or vague guilt quietly drains power from your day. So one of the fastest ways to reclaim energy isn't to rest more, it's to close loops. Finish the conversation. Decide the undecided. Say yes or no, but stop holding maybes in your head. Another massive leak comes from what I call emotional volatility. When you let every small event pull you up or down like a stock chart, you waste energy trying to stabilize your mood instead of using it to build something real. The most successful people I've met, in business or life, are emotionally steady. Not because nothing affects them, but because they've built a mental circuit breaker. They notice emotions rise, then pause before reacting. They don't let every headline, comment, or crisis drain their current. If you want to conserve energy, start tracking your triggers. Notice when your heart rate spikes, when you feel the urge to defend or prove something. That's an energy tax. Every emotional outburst is a withdrawal from your account. And over time, those withdrawals compound, not in money lost, but in clarity lost. Here's a little exercise. Tomorrow, take a piece of paper and draw 2 columns, energy givers and energy drainers. Throughout the day, jot down what charges you and what depletes you. It could be as simple as morning sunlight is a giver, or social media before bed is a drainer. By the end of the week, you'll start to see your personal economy and where the leaks truly are. You'll realize that protecting energy doesn't mean avoiding work. It means choosing where your work matters most. If you fix the leaks, even your ordinary efforts begin to compound again. You start feeling alive in simple things: a deep breath, a clear conversation, a focused hour of creation. And that's when wealth, both inner and outer, begins to accelerate. In the next part, we'll talk about how to generate more energy, not by doing more, but by aligning your life so energy flows naturally. Because once you fix the leaks, the next step is learning how to build power and how to keep it circulating through your long game. I'm Nathan, and you're listening to The Long Game. Thank you for staying with me. Your focus, your time, and your trust are the purest forms of energy there are. Once we've sealed the leaks, the next question is, how do we generate more energy? Not through caffeine, not through hype, but through alignment. Energy isn't something you force. It's something you allow when what you do, what you think, and what you value all move in the same direction. You can tell when a person is aligned. They wake up early not because they have to, but because they want to. Their work, their rest, and their goals feel connected, like different branches of the same tree. And that coherence is what makes their energy renewable. They're not constantly starting and stopping, they're flowing. If you've ever felt fully absorbed in what you do, when hours pass like minutes and ideas seem to appear effortlessly, that's your natural energy system at work. You're not burning fuel, you're channeling current. That's what high performers protect. Not more hours, not more hustle, just fewer disruptions to that state. So how do you get there more often? Start by designing your inputs. Energy doesn't appear out of thin air. It's built from what you feed your mind and body. If your first hour of the day is full of noise, notifications, random opinions, stress, you're literally programming your brain to leak energy before the day begins. But if that first hour is spent in calm creation, reading, writing, thinking, walking, you anchor yourself in clarity, and that clarity converts directly into energy. Next, choose environments that charge you. Energy is contagious. Spend time around people who build things, who move with quiet confidence, who speak with purpose. Their presence recharges your internal battery. But spend your time around constant complaint and blame, and you'll find yourself drained no matter how strong your willpower is. It's not weakness, it's physics. Your nervous system tunes to the energy around you. You can also generate energy through meaning. When what you're doing connects to something bigger than yourself, the body responds. You feel alive in the process, not just in the outcome. That's why some people can work long hours without burning out. Their work gives them more than it takes away. The exchange is positive, not depleting. Meaning is the ultimate renewable source of human energy. And here's something subtle but crucial. Don't confuse stimulation with energy. Scrolling, caffeine, noise, they feel like energy because they excite the nervous system, but they don't sustain. They're withdrawals disguised as deposits. True energy is calm, not frantic. It's steady, not spiky. When you're calm but powerful inside, you can move through chaos without losing voltage. You don't have to overhaul your life to build this kind of energy. You just have to reduce friction. When you remove what drains and amplify what lines, you start producing energy faster than you consume it. And that's when compounding begins. Focus becomes easier. Momentum builds. Decisions become cleaner because they're not made from fatigue, but from power. In essence, energy creation isn't a luxury, it's infrastructure. If you want long-term wealth in money, health, or peace, you have to maintain the power grid that sustains it. Otherwise, even the best plans flicker out when the current runs low. In the next part, we'll go deeper into energy investing, how to take your daily surplus of energy and reinvest it into systems, relationships, and habits that grow wealth over decades. I'm Nathan, and this is The Long Game. Remember, the more aligned you are, the less you have to push, because energy doesn't need pressure when it already has direction. When you begin to generate more energy than you consume, a new question arises. What do you do with the surplus? Because just like financial capital, unused energy eventually fades away if it isn't invested. And this is where the real wealth building begins, in learning how to reinvest energy wisely for compounding returns over time. Think of your daily energy like cash flow. You earn energy through clarity, rest, and alignment. You spend energy on work, family, decisions, and distractions. But if you manage it well, you'll have a surplus. And that surplus is the seed of all long-term growth. What you do with it defines the trajectory of your life. Some people spend their surplus on more activity, new projects, new goals, more meetings, more noise. They confuse movement with momentum. But others, the ones who build legacies, reinvest that energy into systems that make future days easier. They put effort into creating structure, habits, automation, discipline, so their future selves spend less to get more done. That's the secret behind sustainable success. You use your current energy to make future energy cheaper. You build habits that reduce friction, routines that protect focus, and environments that support calm consistency. It's the energetic version of compound interest. The more efficiently your system runs, the more power you retain to reinvest. Let's take a simple example. Suppose you wake up early and spend the first hour planning your day, focusing on the 2 or 3 tasks that truly matter. That 1 hour of calm intention might save you 5 hours of reactivity later. That's a 5x return on energy investment. Over time, it's not discipline anymore. It's efficiency. The system begins to run itself, and your energy multiplies quietly in the background. Another form of energy investment is in relationships. When you invest genuine energy into people, not manipulation, not flattery, but presence, you build networks that amplify you in ways money can't. Every sincere conversation, every act of reliability builds trust, and trust is stored energy between people. It's the invisible current that powers opportunity. You don't see it right away, but years later, doors open effortlessly because of it. The final and often overlooked investment is self-reflection. Using part of your surplus energy to think, to observe, to recalibrate. When you pause long enough to ask, where is my energy going? Does this still matter? Does it still align? You redirect power from old circuits into new growth. Reflection isn't downtime, it's compound time. It keeps your energy economy healthy by making sure every output still serves your deeper strategy. The truth is, the wealthy, not just financially, but holistically, treat energy like sacred capital. They know that every small reinvestment into clarity, integrity, and focus compounds into long-term ease, freedom, and peace. Their outer wealth is only the shadow of their inner energy balance. If you start managing your energy this way, not with guilt or panic, but with awareness and purpose, your days begin to transform. You'll notice fewer spikes of exhaustion and more long stretches of calm productivity. You'll stop chasing intensity and start nurturing consistency. And eventually, you'll wake up one morning realizing you've built not just a career, but an ecosystem, one that produces energy, value, and meaning every single day. That's the real economy of wealth. Not just dollars, but energy that compounds into wisdom. Because in the end, money can only grow as far as your energy allows. And the richest life isn't measured by how much you've earned, but by how sustainably you can keep creating, giving, and growing without running out of the power inside you. This is Nathan. Thank you, truly, for being here, for giving your attention, your time, your presence. That's the purest energy exchange of all. You've been listening to The Long Game. Until next time, protect your current, channel your focus, and keep compounding from the inside out.